Alright, hey y'all, this is my I'm doing a video about my college roommate horror story, so if you're interested in this, stay tuned. Alright, so I just recently finished up my freshman year of college. Be starting my junior year very shortly, and I decided why not tell y'all about like the craziness that I had to deal with. So my first year I had two roommates, and they were both in the first semester. And my first roommate, she was a sophomore in college, and she was an athlete, and she was really cool. She was really nice. The only downfall about her was she used to have her TV on like at night. She'd have her TV on. She had a bigger TV than what I had, and she would have her TV on, and while her TV was on, she'd also have like her laptop playing. She would be watching like My Wife and Kids on the TV. She would have like the Bernie Mac show playing on her laptop. And you think there's no problem with that, but the thing was, she didn't use headphones in her laptop, and her computer would be turned up like kind of loud. And she didn't use headphones on her computer. And then she'd be like watching like Snapchats and Vines on her phone like out loud too. So at night I really couldn't sleep with this roommate for those reasons. But other than that, she was a really nice girl. She was cool. And she ended up moving. She told me that I used to go home on the weekends all the time, and I think this is one of the main reasons that she moved, because I wasn't really there a lot. But she told me that with her being an athlete, they all had to live together, which I think was a lie, because I knew a lot of other like people on the track team that didn't live with other like track teammates or whatever, or other athletes at all. So I think she just wanted to move because I was just not like the best roommate. Because I mean, I didn't do anything, like I wasn't messy or anything. I'm just very quiet. I don't really talk a lot. And I tend to just stay by myself or whatever. I don't really talk all the time, and I'm just not that outgoing with people I don't know, which I need to fix. But she ended up just moving out and stuff, so I don't know. I was just like, okay, whatever, she's moving. I didn't really think too much of it because she was moving out. I mean, it didn't really do anything to me in any way, shape, or form. Like, it was just like, okay, my roommate's gone. So she left, and I remember being kind of happy, because I finally got to sleep and stuff like that. And she ends up moving, and this new girl comes to the door like unexpected, and I'm in pajamas and like hair messy, and I don't even know what this girl is doing. She comes in, and she's like, "Oh, I'm your new roommate." I'm like, "Okay." So I waited for her to move in, but she didn't. And like I said, I go home on the weekend, so I was like, I'm gonna just go home anyway, and if she moves in, she moves in, whatever. And so I finally get an email telling me the girl's name that Wednesday. I was like, oh. But I get back to school that Sunday. My sister and her kids used to always bring me to school on Sundays, like after I got back from the weekend. And we get to the room, and I hear the TV, and we open the door. There's this girl and this boy like laid up on the bed with like the game on the TV. It's like, who are you? Because it wasn't the girl that I had just met that Wednesday. So, they introduce themselves and stuff. Well, they don't introduce themselves. They just say, hey, how are you? Everything, which was all an act, being all nice. You have to be nice when you meet people's parents and stuff for the first time. And so, I decided I'm going to leave them alone. I don't want to be in their business, like all up in their face and stuff. Because it's awkward being in there like a girl and her boyfriend. What am I going to do? Just sit there? Like, that's awkward. So I went downstairs, and was like, I'll go study in like the common area, like the lobby. But people kept watching me. Like, I don't know why. It was like, I live here, but they just kept watching me like I was going to steal something or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm going to leave and go back upstairs. So I sat in, like, upstairs where our room was. There was, like, a little sitting area, like, off, like, adjacent to, like, we had a suite style dorm, and, like, our suite mate's room was, like, where the other, like, thing was. Like, so I sat right there, and she found me. Like, they were still in there. And she found me, and I don't know how she found me. But she came up there, and she's like, oh, can I borrow your key? So I was like, okay. She has all these people, like, in our rooms. Like, she has her friends. Like, she would just go places and leave random people in our room. And she did this later on, too. And so, I don't know, like, she seemed cool at first. She's one of those girls that you think is all preppy and nice and everything, but you can tell she has, like, a dark side. Like, she has a party girl side, and that's how she was. And that's not really my personality at all. I'm, like, I wouldn't say I'm a homebody, but I'm just really chill, laid back, and I just like to be by myself a lot of the times. And she, would leave, and she'd like invite me places, but I'd just be like, I just got bad vibes from her. So I was always like, oh no, I'm good, but thank you for inviting me or whatever. And she, what did she do? Like I said, she was always leaving people in the room alone and stuff. And then she just started ignoring me. Like, I'd be like, how are you? Like, I'd be talking to her, and she just would not acknowledge me. And at first I was like, maybe she didn't hear me, but it's like, there's no TV on, there's no music on. she's standing like literally 2 feet away from me. I speak pretty loud, like when I need to. And I was like, I'm pretty sure she heard me. Maybe she's just ignoring me for whatever reason. So I was like, I just got like a bad feeling about it. So I just like really didn't even try anymore to try to like have conversation and stuff with her. I was like, okay, we'll talk if we talk. And so her boyfriend, he was the most annoying, immature person like ever. But it started to come out in stages. Like at first he didn't seem that annoying. He seemed like a normal guy. But as we progressed, like in our roommate situation, he just, she would have him over like all the time. And our dorm had like guidelines about having people over, visitors and stuff, and the amount of like times they could stay over. But he was like over every day, like every night, and it was like, oh my god. And she always had other friends over, and it's like, you're not supposed to have all these people over. But I didn't complain, because like I said, like I didn't really mind. I didn't really have that many people over. Like my family would come over sometimes, but that's about it. Like I didn't have other people come over. And as I'm sitting here, like, they were just an odd couple. Like, they fought all the time, and then they'd be back together. Like, I think he cheated on her a lot. It was just an awkward situation. I just hated being an innocent bystander and all this, like, on my side of the room. Just witnessing all this happen. I just felt like, this makes me uncomfortable. But they argued, and like I said, he was over all the time. The thing that really pissed me off about them, the two of them together, was the first time he actually like stayed the night. Like he came over at like 11:30 something to 12, and I'm at my computer just doing homework and stuff, just nothing serious. I had this online math class that I could do the work at any time, so I was just doing that. And he comes over, they're sitting on her bed or whatever, and they're just like making out or whatever. So I'm like, this is awkward, I'm gonna go downstairs. So I can't remember if I had my phone or not, so I was like, I'm just go downstairs, find something to do. And I was just in the computer lab trying to get some more work done. It was like about 3 o'clock when they got done. I was kind of pissed. I was like, okay, because even though I didn't have early morning classes, I like to get my sleep in, and I like to wake up early and get my work done. Like even if I don't have to be anywhere for a certain amount of time, I just like to get up early and get my work and stuff done. So I was kind of pissed that he was there till 3 o'clock in the morning, but I was like, okay. I was like, it's whatever. Like, I'm not gonna be too obnoxious about it. But he just kept doing stuff that like annoyed me like all the time, that he was over, and she just like excused it, and it was just like, okay. So he ends up coming back. This is not even a whole week later. Like I'm still pissed about them being in there so long. And another thing that always pissed me off is they always told us like, always get your roommates, not get your roommate's permission, but always check with your roommate first to be sure, like, if it's okay for you to have somebody over before you just have somebody over. Like, make sure that it's okay with your roommate. She never did that. They never did that at all. She would have him over all the time. And then he came over, like, it was like only like a couple of nights later, not even a whole week later, like just about 3 or 4 nights later, he's back over. So this day, I'm like, I'm not budging. Like, you didn't ask. He comes over at like 12:30 when you're not even supposed to have visitors after like 11:30. He comes over at like 12:30. I'm sitting at my desk, and like our desks were like this, like our desks faced and like this, and our beds were like on the opposite sides. And I'm sitting there at my computer, and I had this math test, because like I said, I had an online math class, and I'm doing the math test, and I was sitting at my desk, and I remember I was listening to like some Drake, and I was listening to Janae Aiko's new album, because it just came out like this September. And I'm listening to that, trying to get my work done, and he comes in, he's sitting on the bed, and he, like, I guess they were, like, waiting for me to leave, but I wasn't about to leave when it's, like, 12:30, and I'm at my desk doing, like, work, like, actual schoolwork. I'm not leaving for you. So I'm sitting there, and he keeps making, like, little sly comments, like, is she gonna leave? Like, trying to whisper, like, is she ever gonna leave? When is she gonna leave? And she'd be like, stop, babe, stop. Like, little ignorant. And that's how she talked, too. Ugh. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'm not leaving. So I kept sitting there, and he was like, I hope she turned that shit off. That shit's aggravating. That music, like, talk about my music. And I'm like, bitch. So I just turned it up louder. Like, okay, this is not your room. You don't run anything, sir. You don't run a damn thing in this room. So I turned my music up, and I kept doing my work. So he would like start, like, they just started like making out like aggressively. Like he would start like making these loud sucking noises. Like it was so gross. I was like, okay, I'm still not leaving. So I basically just turned my music up. Then I like put in my headphones, and so he just kept doing things to try to annoy me, to get me out of the room. Like he would keep making comments, keep trying to make like loud, like sexual innuendos, like little loud noises. Like that shit doesn't bother me. Like that doesn't bother me. You should hear what I talk about, like with my friends, like in my free time. Like, that doesn't bother me. That's not going to make me feel any way. I think they thought I was like a prude or whatever, but they really didn't know anything about me. And so he kept doing it. So at like, I turned the TV like on some show I was watching on Comedy Central. He turns her TV on, and like, you know, when you have two TVs on, they echo. And especially if you have them like on the same channel, one's gonna be faster than the other. My TV was faster than theirs, and he would keep putting it, like whenever I changed the channel, he'd put it on that same channel. And I was like, okay, I'm still not gonna leave. You're still not gonna have any power over me. I'm not going anywhere till I feel like it. So I sat there. It's like 1 o'clock, like 1 o'clock in the morning. They're still sitting there mad, like they're getting aggravated, and I don't care. Like I said, I was not moving from doing this test. I was not moving. I don't care how mad you get. You can get as mad as you want, but boo-boo, I'm not going anywhere. So finally they decide to progress to the shower. They go to the shower to do whatever, of course. So I'm like, okay, because I really need to print out this paper. I was like, I'm going to go down here, I'm going to print out this paper, and then I'm going to come right back. And so I basically was like, okay, you know, I closed the door quietly. I got my key and my flash drive. I went down there. I was like, I'm going to come right back, and I'm going to be right back to doing my work. So I go down there, and I'm on my way back. I try to open the door. The door is like jammed, and our door is like the deadbolt, like the double bolt, like from the inside, like at night, that you're supposed to put on so nobody can break into your room. And when you put your key in our door, it was always a little bit tricky, and I could not get the door open. The door would not budge with my key or me twisting it. Like, they had something jammed in that door. And I was like, oh hell no. So I was pissed about that. Like, that really made me very angry. I'm like, these bitches right here. So I was like, I'll go back downstairs. So I was in the lab, like, on Tumblr and stuff, because I can't work in that lab for whatever reason. There's this one woman that had been there all day. So I'm sitting there. 1 o'clock turns to 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock turns to 3 o'clock. I'm like, I'm going to go back upstairs. They are, like, banging the walls with this loud, obnoxious sex. And you knew it was like, this is not real. Like, you're acting like you're in a porno or something. Like, you are not really. And our suite mates are like right next door. Like, our suite mates, like, we had like the suite style room with the bathroom in the middle, like 2 rooms connected by a bathroom. And like the suite mates, like right beside us, their room was like the wall where like our sitting area was outside in the hallway. And I was sitting in that sitting area, and I could still hear them from our room over. Like, I could still hear them banging the walls and stuff. And I'm like, I knew the suite mates could hear, and our suite mates were like the sweetest girls ever. Like, they were very religious and just very like kind. But I don't think she liked them. I don't think they liked her either. But they liked me, so I was fine with it. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, this is disgusting. So I walked down the hall to, like, our kitchen, which was, like, about 6 to 8 rooms down the hall. You could still hear them. I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. That makes no sense. And I know everybody else is hearing this. So I go back downstairs. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, okay. The computer lab closes at, like, 5:30. Well, it doesn't close, like, the computer's reset at like 5:30. It's like 4:50. I go back upstairs. Finally, they're done. The door's like, it's not locked the way that it was anymore. So I'm trying to open the door, and it's like disgusting in there. Like, it stinks. I'm like, y'all couldn't even spray air freshener. Like, there's all this air freshener around this room. So I'm like, I need to go take a shower. Like, I had already been in my pajamas and stuff, because my plan was to finish working on this test and hop right in the bed and go to sleep, because I had stuff to do that morning. I had to go to the post office. I had a lot of other stuff to do that morning early. So I'm sitting there. I go to the bathroom. The bathroom is a hot mess. And so the bathroom was a mess. There were like bodily fluids everywhere. You know exactly what bodily fluids I'm talking about. In the toilet, on the floor, the shower. Then he peed all over the toilet seat too and left it up. Didn't even flush it. And I was just like, this is disgusting. Like, so disgusting. And I didn't want to touch that. So I had to get my disinfectant and like gloves to try to wipe this nastiness up. Because I really had to pee, and I was not about to pee myself because of this BS. So like, I get to the bathroom or whatever, so I'm trying to like wipe everything down. I look into my basket. My baby wipes are moved. Like, my whole little like shower caddy. Like, she never touched my stuff in the bathroom. At least she didn't leave it a mess to where I knew. And the suite mates didn't mess with my stuff. He had been using my freaking baby wipes for whatever reason and left them open, and had used like a big old hunk of them too, like a big old chunk. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I was so mad. So finally I get my shower, and I get into the bed, and it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm watching like reruns of like American Horror Story Coven. Like I said, I'm so angry. Like, I'm so mad because of this whole situation. So I'm sitting here watching this. I can't get to sleep. And like I said, I had to get up at like 7 to go to the post office and go like to this teacher to meet with this like professor or whatever. And I couldn't even get up. So I didn't get to sleep until like 7, 8 o'clock. It was horrible. But after that, I fixed them. Like, they tried to do it again one other time, but I cock blocked them like no other. I kind of figured out their pattern. Like, he'd always come over at like 12, 1 o'clock. And so I decided I was going to get my pajamas on at like 10. I was going to get in my bed. I pulled my desk closer to have my like computer, because my computer was like a hot mess. Like, I had like a desktop monitor because my screen was broken on my laptop. So I kind of used it like a desktop, and I had to pull that closer to me so I could use it. I've upgraded since then though. But so I had to pull it closer to me to use it. And I kept it beside my bed. I did not get up from my bed. I got up to pee and came right back or whatever, but I stayed there. And they were so mad. Like, he was still trying to make little like sexual noises and stuff, like sucking on her and stuff. But I was like, bitch, I'm not moving. I'm unbothered. I will not move. You will not stress me like you did the last time. You will not have the satisfaction. You won't. So I didn't move. And I knew they were angry. Like, they were mad. They wanted me to move, but I was like, nope, no. So I stayed there. So it was about like 4:30 in the morning. They finally, like, we had a fire drill. They saw I wasn't gonna budge. They kept getting angry, getting mad, like scuffing and clearing their throats. Like, I care. Your girl still did not move. So it was about 4:30. We had a fire drill, and this is like, I think this was like early November maybe, or like late October. And it was cold outside and it was raining, and we're at like 4:30 in the morning standing out here for a fire drill. But they went off to his room to have sex or whatever, and I was like, okay. Well, you should have been doing that, because why are you always having him here when he has his own room? Like, what is up with that? So after that, like, there was other things about her that annoyed me. Like, after that, they never tried the like whole hook up in the room thing again after that. But she would like always like clog the toilet, never let me or the suite mates know that she had clogged it until we went in there to try to flush it, and then it exploded everywhere. She never put in work orders for the toilet. She always hogged the shower. She would always wake up whenever my alarm was on. Like, I would set my alarm to wake up at like 7 if I needed to go to like the post office or something, like the mail room at school. And she would always get up to my alarm and run to the shower. Now, at first I thought maybe it's just a coincidence or whatever, even though her class wasn't until like 9 o'clock in the morning. It was like, why are you getting up this early? But then one day I tricked her. Like, I set my alarm for like 6 o'clock because I knew she wouldn't get up that early. I didn't need to get up that early either, because it was a test to see if she really... So basically the test was to see if she was going to wake up with my alarm, and she did. And it was like, my alarm was already on and she woke up at that time, goes to the bathroom, gets into the shower, and I guess she realized that it wasn't like that what time it was, and she gets up and she's like, ugh, and like scoffing mad. And it's like, girl, why were you waking up with my alarm anyway? That's what you get. That's why I set like an alarm for an earlier time, because I knew you were getting up only because of my alarm, and that's effed up. If I'm setting my alarm to get up, don't you try to run into the bathroom when you know that I'm already setting it for myself. And that's what she would do. And so, like, there was another thing that they did. Like, her and her boyfriend were like fighting. They were like arguing like they always did, and he broke our door, like jamming on the door, like opening it, closing it. Like, he was so childish and petty. And it was like Thanksgiving break, and I couldn't leave because they had messed up the door, and I was trying to leave. I couldn't get the door locked. And mind you, our TVs and stuff are in there. Like, everything we have is in there. Jewelry. Like, I had locked up some of my jewelry and stuff, but I still had other stuff out. And, like, my textbooks and stuff. And I go downstairs to, like, the front office, and I let them know the situation. And they're like, how long has this been like this? And I'm like, I don't know. I guess my roommate and her boyfriend, like, my roommate just left for me. She was the last one at the door. Like, we can't do anything until after break, so we'll tell somebody on the hall to watch your room, but we can't be held liable for if anything goes missing. It's like, oh my god. So I was mad about that. Like, they could have stole anything out of our room. Like, the TVs, both of our TVs were in there, all that stuff, but it was just like their stuff. So after Thanksgiving break, like, I didn't come back like that Monday. I think I came back like that Wednesday after Thanksgiving break, and she was gone, which was like, thank god. She had moved out, which was, I was fine with that. They had taken all her stuff out of the room, but she left a big nasty trash bag full of trash, and she was the only one to use the trash, because that, like, I think it was that Tuesday we left for Thanksgiving break, I had emptied the trash, because she never did, and I'd already emptied it, and she put a new trash bag and stuff in it, because she always used like white trash bags. I always use black trash bags. There's a white trash bag full of her trash, and she left that in there. Like, if you're moving, you need to empty your trash. Don't leave that in there for me to do, and that's been sitting there for God knows how long. But I was happy that she moved out. I finally had my room to myself. They messed up my TV cord, yanking it out of the wall, but I was like, anything to be rid of her in the sky. Hold on, you guys. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, y'all. If you hear my phone ringing, I apologize ahead of time. I have a great niece who might be making her appearance. Well, not her appearance in the video, but she might be born today. So if you hear my phone ringing, I apologize. My niece is at the hospital. I think she's in labor or about to be in labor. So apologize ahead of time. But anyway, they messed up my TV cord and stuff like that. But I was just so happy to get her out, to like get rid of her, to that. And I wasn't actively trying to get her to move out, but she did, and I was fine with it because I was just over her shenanigans and her BS. So her finally moving was absolutely okay with me. I got to have my room by myself. I did not get another roommate for the rest of my freshman year. I hope that when I go back to school sophomore year, I hope that I don't get a crazy roommate or anything like that. I hope I get a normal person, somebody who is a decent human being and is respectful and I can get along with, that I can vibe with, because this one was just a mess. But thank you guys for watching my roommate horror story, and if you enjoyed, you know, give this video a thumbs up, or if you want to see more, comment down below, or subscribe even if you like these type of videos and stuff. I hope later on today to probably do a tips for college freshmen video that kind of ties in with this one, so stay tuned for that, and thank you guys again for watching. Bye.